Hi there and welcome to Hyundai Power Products. My name's Adrian and today we're going to look at this pole saw. So it's a 20-volt cordless pole saw, the HY2192. I'm going to open the box, lay the contents on the table so you can see exactly what you get. So I've laid everything on the table. First of all, we have the head unit itself, which is where the saw attaches to. We'll show you that a little later. Obviously the pole with the trigger assembly and the lanyard will be attached to the pole. We have the battery, the charger, then we have the chain bar and its protective cover. We have the chainsaw chain that goes on it. And finally we have the user manual in this bag, which also contains a small bottle of the chain lubricating oil. We'll show you where that goes a little later. But you must remember to read the user manual thoroughly before use. So, as we mentioned, it does come with this 20-volt 2-amp-hour battery. Now, typically the battery will have about a half charge when you get it. If you press the little red button, you can see there 2 lights out of the 4 lit. So that means it will need charging to get a full charge. But we do supply the battery charger, which simply plugs into a normal 13-amp outlet. And then with the charger, fit the battery on, push it down till it stops, and it will start charging. Usual battery charging setup. So we're going to start by connecting the 2 halves together. So you'll see that the main shaft is hexagonal and it has this protrusion here. So it's important to put it in the right way round when we attach it. And you'll see this cutout, which is here in the shaft, this particular cutout. It won't go in another way, but if you line it up with that cutout, the 2 halves will slide directly together. Then turning this clockwise, we can screw down the collar and that's it, that's the 2 halves assembled. So the next thing we're going to do is to fit the chain and bar. Now we are going to need a pair of gloves for this because you shouldn't really go anywhere near the chain, which is very sharp, with bare hands, so I will be getting a pair of gloves. But let me explain first. So first of all, we're going to remove the cover. So you'll see it's constructed of 3 parts. We have the body, the cover itself. We have this blue knob here, which is the tensioning knob. And then, of course, we have the hold-down knob, this black one. We'll unscrew that anti-clockwise, and you'll see, after a few turns, the cover comes off. Now, just something to note, when we put it back in, you'll see 2 little tabs, or 1 little tab here. When we put it back in, we need to put it back in that orientation to get the tab inside first. But that's as we move on. So you'll see on the chain bar here, it only has Hyundai written on one side. It has this bracket on the chain bar. If you put the Hyundai writing the correct way up, the same way it is on the unit, you'll have this the right way round. Obviously, you don't want to try and put it on that way. So that's the way the chain bar goes on, first of all. So I'm going to take the chain out of the bag, and as you can see, I'm wearing gloves, and just unravel the chain. Now, this chain can only go on one way round. If I was to put it the wrong way, the chain would rotate backwards and it would hardly cut at all. In fact, it would do more rubbing than cutting. We need to put it on the right way. So the simple way to check, you'll see, I'll just take that bar off again. You'll see the symbol here, that shape that's on the body of the machine. So we need to put the chain on in such a way that the little silver links match that shape. So if I were to put it on that way, let me see if I can bring it to shot for you. This is actually the wrong way round. There's a curved end and a sloped end. So I need to turn the chain around. And then, as you can see, the image and the silver colored link replicate each other. So that's the right way round. So if I just hold the chain that way round, I'll just pop the bar back in place. So this is the way we'd need to put it. So what I'm going to do is tuck the chain into this little pulley here. On the inside of the chain, you'll see these little lobes, and they need to sit in the grooves on the pulley. So that's step 1. So if I feed the chain now, a little difficult wearing gloves, but it's better than cutting yourself. I may just slide that back a little, get the chain started there first, maybe. Okay, so I'm fitting the chain into the groove. I removed it to make it easy to demonstrate. So that's that. I can put it back on the pin. Just line up those little lugs on the back of the chain, back in the pulley. There. Okay. So that's the chain in the groove all the way around, in the right position on the pulley, and the bar the right way round, and we've got the chain the right way round. So I'm going to turn the chain tensioner, this blue part, fully anti-clockwise first of all, and just make sure that the chain is still in its groove all the way round. Yes. I'm going to place the little lug in at the back first, and then just hold it loosely in position. Then I'm going to tighten up on the black knob, turning it clockwise until it gets to the bottom, until I feel resistance. Undo it half a turn. Then I'm going to turn the blue knob. Now this chain is still slack at the moment. I'm going to turn that clockwise as well. And what shall happen, the chain will tension up. So that chain is now tighter in the groove. And then finally tighten up by turning clockwise the black knob. So that chain is now firmly in the groove. There is a little bit of spring there, but that's tensioned correctly. Now what you will find is when you first start using the saw, you will get an initial stretch of the chain, and the chain will go slack. What we'll need to do then is just undo the black knob, maybe one turn again. If I just replicate a little bit of slackness in the chain, as you can see. So your chain will be slack. You undone the knob again, just put a little bit more tension on with the blue knob by turning clockwise, and then tighten the black knob up again. Okay, and that'll retension the chain, but keep an eye on the chain during use, that it isn't slack. So with the chain in position now, I'm just going to put the cover on it so I don't injure myself while I'm demonstrating, and I can put the gloves away. So this here is the oil reservoir for the chain lubricating oil. Unscrew it anti-clockwise. You can pull the lid off to one side. And there is a sight glass down here which shows where the oil minimum is. And obviously we can fill this up to a degree. As we mentioned, we do supply a small bottle of chain lubricating oil with it. So we can pour it in through there, put it on level ground. We should be, somewhere around the top of the window. When we're happy, refit the oil cap. So I've just reattached the pole to the machine. As you can see, there's a push button here. If I push the button, I can adjust the angle of the head to several positions. So depending on what your actual use is, I can angle it over to that sort of angle, which could be more convenient in certain places. Again, I can put it back there, or I can put it completely straight. So there's 3 positions there, but simple to do, just push the button and let it move. So another form of adjustment on the machine is the fact that the pole is telescopic. So if I just undo the little clip, as you can see, it is spring-loaded to a degree, but I can extend the pole out. So if I pull it out somewhere like there, okay, and as you can see, I've got a far greater reach with it now. And to remove it back to normal, loosen the clip, slide it back down, refasten the clip. So that's the telescopic handle. So the machine does come with a lanyard. Of course, it's easy to unclip. You can wear the lanyard, you can unclip yourself, clip yourself back on very easily. And this is adjustable to suit the individual. So the next thing we'll look at is fitting the battery. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Fits in the machine the same as it does in the charger. Into the slot, push it back, and it'll click and lock it in position. Now what we have got is a blue tab on the battery. If we push the blue tab down, we can withdraw the battery. So there's a little locking blue tab there. So, battery in, click to position, it's firmly locked. Push the blue tab, out comes the battery. So I'm in a controlled circumstance here in the studio, but I'm going to show you the trigger action and how to start it up, and you will hear it start. So 2-part trigger, you need to push one button and the other one. Again, there's a button both sides, so it doesn't matter whether you're left or right-handed, but push the button, pull the trigger, off it goes. So even though this is a cordless pole saw, we still need to treat these machines with respect. Treat it as if it was a chainsaw. Wear the appropriate PPE, make sure there's no others around, all that sort of thing. But be safety conscious when you're operating this. It can be a very dangerous piece of machinery. Well, there we are. I think I've covered the assembly and out-of-the-box instructions for this machine. But one thing of note, the 20-volt batteries and chargers can be used over a wide variety of our machines, most of the ones that begin with the code 21. So they are pretty versatile and universal. There we are. So I do hope you found this demonstration useful. For more information on this or any of our other products, visit www.hyundaipowerproducts.co.uk. I've been Adrian, and thank you for watching.